Welcome to part 2 of the Avianca tutorials, where we are going to cover how to use this little-known Colombian airline to book some amazingly cheap points flights on different Asian airlines, including some of the best business class products in the world, often for fewer points than the Asian airlines charge on their own websites. If you haven't checked out part 1 featuring how to book European sweet spots using Avianca, I would suggest watching that video as well, since it has a quick tutorial for how to navigate Avianca's website. This first example is going to be for a flight from SFO to Incheon in Korea. We'll also cover a common issue that you might come across when booking flights through Avianca and how to get around it to find some hidden availability.
All right, so the first one we're going to go through is San Francisco over to Korea, Star Alliance one way. We're going to see if there's any business or first class flights available. And it doesn't look like there's anything in March. It doesn't look like there's anything in April either. We could click through all the months, but what we want to do here instead is let's see if there's just any availability at all. So let's go through economy. Still nothing in March, but we do have quite a bit of availability in April. So let's go ahead and click on the first date and see what kind of route options are available from San Francisco to Korea on Avianca. All right, we have this economy 40,000. We have mixed class, but that's all in economy. And then this is really weird because when we search for business or first, we didn't come up with any results, but there is actually this option where you could fly for 85,000 miles and the whole thing is going to be in business class. It's just going to have a stop in Haneda and then you have to transfer over to Tokyo. So here you do have to make your way across Tokyo, but you could fly all the way from San Francisco to Incheon Airport for 85,000 miles plus about $45 in taxes and fees. And then if we wanted to verify that this thing actually exists, I would go over to United and then search San Francisco to Incheon, April 4. And then let's see if this thing exists over here. And it's going to leave at 1:45, land at 11:30. So it looks like it's this flight right here. And we do have a couple other options, but it would cost 92,000 miles plus 25.50 over here with United. Versus with Avianca, it's going to cost a little bit less than that. So if you have trouble finding business class availability, sometimes you can just try the economy route, and then you might be surprised and find something like this if you are willing to click through all of the different dates and options. Since there's this San Francisco to Haneda route that's in business class, I wonder if it's just not showing us this because it's split over two different segments. So let's try San Francisco to Haneda on April 4 and see if that gets us any results. So we already know that this thing is going to exist. Nothing in March. It says nothing in April for one-way business or first class. And then if we click on April 4, where we know that thing already exists, it's right there for 90,000 miles. So a little bit more versus if you did the San Francisco to Haneda, switch over to Narita, and then fly to Incheon route. Totally up to you if you want to do a skip leg. I personally don't like to do skip legs, but it is weird that it's showing up here for business class, even though it didn't show up on the award calendar. And these are the types of rabbit holes that you can dive really deep into, where you start going crazy and start clicking on every single date on the calendar just to see if there really is anything there. I don't have a quick fix for that. If anybody does, please let me know in the comments. But this is one that I happened to find where you do have this nonstop business class on ANA from San Francisco to Haneda, and it just wasn't showing up on the award calendar. If we were to search for this on United, I think we will find it as well. Let's go ahead and check. All right, so I typed in San Francisco to Haneda. On that date, we found April 4. And for 92,000 miles, it does look like it shows up on United. So that's something that you could do instead, is try to search with United's calendar first, because it's going to show up there. And then if you see the Star Alliance partner flight on United, you could then click into Avianca just in case it's going to show up here, even if it doesn't actually show up on their calendar. Slightly frustrating and adds a little bit of an extra step, but that's how you can find some more of those, like I would say, hidden availability where it might not show up on the award calendar, but it is showing up here once we click in and it shows up on United. So that tells me it's probably not phantom availability.
If you're interested in trying out Avianca for award bookings, there are a lot of different points that transfer to Avianca, including American Express membership rewards, Capital One miles, or City Thank You points. You can also transfer in Marriott points at a 3-to-1 ratio, but I wouldn't really recommend doing that. If you're just getting started with your points and miles journey and you're not sure how to do a points redemption yet, we do have a free Points 101 course for you to walk through for everything that you need to know on how to make your first redemption. So check out the link in the description box or go to geobreezetravel.com/free course. While there are some sweet spots from the US to Asia using Avianca, where this award program really shines is if you want to do some country hopping in the Eastern Hemisphere. So here's how to experience nearly 10 hours in one of the best business class flights in the world for only 40,000 miles, which is about how much 2 domestic economy flights in Delta would cost most days.
So not only can you use this to fly from the US to Asia, but you're actually going to have much better luck finding availability if you're going inter-Asia or inter-Europe or anything like that within a continent that doesn't involve North America, because it's much harder for people in Asia or Europe to earn these types of miles to transfer over for award flights. So let's say we wanted to go through Canada to Australia. One adult in business or first class. Let's see if there's anything there. And here we are seeing a little bit more availability. Let's click on March 25. And then we have this 9.5-hour flight on ANA in business class for only 40,000 miles. So that is a really, really nice redemption from Japan over to Australia if you wanted to fly something like this. And there's a couple different options on this date that we picked.
You can earn points for Avianca redemptions with cards like the Amex Platinum, Amex Gold, Capital One Venture or Venture X, Citi Premier, or many others. But how do you know which cards are best for you? I wouldn't recommend opening 20 cards. Instead, I offer free credit card consultations to provide you with personalized recommendations based on your particular travel goals, budget, and lifestyle. You can sign up at geobreezetravel.com/consultations. Or you can check out the link in the description box for that as well. One of the most popular travel destinations in the world is Thailand, and it just so happens that Thai Airways is a Star Alliance partner that you can book through Avianca as well. So here are some sweet spots that you can book with Thai Airways.
Pick another example. Let's say we wanted to go from Thailand to Japan in business class and see if there's anything available there. Let's scroll down and say we wanted to go into September. So this is another one of those examples where, spoilers, I clicked through a whole bunch of different dates to find this. It's not showing anything, but if I click into September 6th, then I won't see anything in business class, but I will see some stuff that's mixed a little bit, where we can fly from Bangkok to Taipei in economy and then Taipei over to Narita in EVA Airways business class for only 15,000 points here. So that's something that you can do as well. I probably could have found this if I was searching in economy instead of business mode up here, but there's a lot of routes that you can fly within Asia, and there's a ton of Star Alliance partners in Asia. Just from this search, we got Thai Airways, we have All Nippon Airways, ANA, we have EVA. So you have a lot of different options by doing something like this. So we did Bangkok to Japan, we did Japan to Australia. Let's see if there's anything from Thailand over to Australia. Searching here. And then let's click on April, see if there's anything next month. Nothing in business class. Let's see if there's anything in economy. Nothing for March, anything for April. And then it says there's 3 days that are available in April, the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Let's see if we can find any hidden award availability here. And this is another type of error that you might get, where even though it says on the award calendar there are dates available, there's not actually any dates available if we click through. So that's one of those frustrating things too. With Avianca Life Miles, sometimes their system is not fully up to date. Even if it says there is award availability, it might not exist. Even if they say there's not award availability, there might be something there. So that can eat up a little bit of time, but if you are willing to put in the time and search through all of those different combinations, that's how you end up finding award space that other people do not see.
If you're liking these tutorials so far, please let me know by clicking that like button and subscribing to the channel for even more step-by-step tutorials on how to make the most out of your points and miles. You know what one of the cutest airlines is? EVA Airways. They're known for really creative products like the Hello Kitty plane, but even their regular business class is high on many travelers' bucket lists. If you're flying a longer route, they are one of the few airlines that provides pajamas in business class. Here's how to fly on EVA Airways business class for only 17,000 points.
Let's say we really wanted to try that EVA Airways business class. Let's do something that goes to or from Taipei. So let's search for Korea over to Taipei. And let's see if there's anything in business or first class if we wanted to fly EVA. It says that there is quite a bit of last minute availability in March. I am recording this on the 16th, but since this won't air for a couple weeks, let's try March 30th. And so here, this is another Star Alliance partner based out of Korea. This is Asiana Airlines. We could fly this route in economy, and it's a 2.5-hour flight for less than 10,000 points. Or if we wanted to do this in business class, where it would be 2.5 hours on Eva Airways, which is a really nice business product, then it's only going to cost 17,000 miles plus about $22. Or if we wanted to do some kind of mixed economy, then you could try both economy airlines. It'll take a little bit longer. You will have a bit of a layover with this, so I'm not particularly sure I would take this itinerary, but this is a really nice option for 17,000 points to fly 2.5 hours in nonstop Eva Airways business class.
If you like the style of these step-by-step redemptions and you have a specific trip that you'd like a tutorial for, we can prepare personalized step-by-step video tutorials for you in the GeoBreeze Travel Patreon. Whether you want to fly to the Philippines, India, Vietnam, or from a smaller US city and can't find availability, we can help prepare a tutorial for you to find an award flight to book. Each month we also offer live group coaching as well. Check out the Patreon by going to patreon.com/geobreezetravel or by clicking on the link in the description box. Another Asian airline that has decent award availability through Avianca is Asiana Airlines, which is based in Korea. We covered this airline a bit in this tutorial video about how to book flights to Korea, but I also wanted to cover how to find more business class availability with Asiana in today's video. So here we go.
Another route that supposedly exists that's a sweet spot on Avianca is flying over to Saipan, which is a really long flight from Korea, and you can get this for approximately the same price since it's all within the same North Asia zone. So let's see if we find anything here. Nothing in March, nothing in April, nothing in May. Let's see if there's anything in economy. So we have quite a bit of options in May. Let's try May 17. And then ideally, there would be a business class on this direct flight from Asiana Airlines. It does not exist currently right now. We could fly this 4.5-hour flight in economy for 15,000 points, or we could take this really roundabout flight option. It's going to be 23 hours, including layovers. So what is this? This goes from nonstop from Incheon over to Fukuoka, Japan. So that's in business class. That's only about an hour or so flight. It's really short for 4,500 miles. Then we go from Fukuoka, Japan to Haneda for 3,500 in economy. Then we would have to switch over to Narita, fly over to Guam, that's an economy, then Guam over to Saipan, which we could do in business class. So if you wanted to do a whole bunch of airline hopping or something, or if you wanted to credit all of these different segments, maybe to United if you're trying to get your qualifications to renew your status or something else like that with your PQPs and PQMs, you could do something like this if you wanted to do somewhat of a mileage run. It's not going to cost very much at all, even if you took the business class segments. That's only 16,000 miles in total. So you could do something like that if you wanted to spend 23 hours in the air hopping around between Korea, Japan, and Guam. All right, let's do one more example of an Avianca redemption between two major Asian cities. So let's do Narita to Hong Kong. See if there's anything in business or first. All right, so we have a couple options in March, nothing in April, nothing in May. But we do have some stuff in June. So let's click on June 28th and see what our options are. So here, we could fly in two different segments on business class with Asiana, where we go from Tokyo over to Incheon, then Incheon over to Hong Kong. The entire thing pieced together would be 22.5 thousand miles on Avianca, so that's not a bad redemption option at all. Or if we wanted to do this one's going to be a little bit more out of the way and not all of it is in business class. So I would definitely go with the first option instead if you wanted to use Avianca to fly between Japan and Hong Kong.
I hope you found those tutorials useful. Avianca has a ton of different sweet spots, so let me know if there's another region of the world that you would like to see more tutorials for. Also, in case you missed the Avianca tutorials for how to fly to Europe, make sure you check out this video as well.